Welcome everybody to What's Up Bolts. I'm Fernando Ramirez. That sunglass Don and hat wearing son of a gun is Dan in Daygo.
Woo, 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 woo!
Dan is excited for this week. Obviously, there's football. It's getting closer to Thanksgiving. Dan, what do you get excited for on Thanksgiving?
Alcohol and football and food.
Who makes the best food?
Oh, sorry. I mean, family. No, I'm just kidding. Obviously, the fam. I can't wait. I don't know if you guys have had this or not. I'm not a huge turkey guy, but the only turkey I absolutely love and devour and get seconds is when Frau smokes it. I don't know if it's the smoking process that makes it so great. I don't know if it's what he puts in it, on it. I don't know the seasonings. As you can tell, I'm not an expert in the kitchen, but I'm an expert when it comes to freaking chow time, dude. Absolutely wonderful, so juicy and everything. I can't wait for the smoked ham and the smoked turkey, dude. I'm fired up for that thing.
And Melissa's macaroni and cheese.
Shout out. I can't wait for her mac and cheese either.
But before Thanksgiving, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, I low-key hope she makes apple pie, even if it's just for us. Little Dam shouldn't get any. Little Dam's a scumbag. But it is what it is.
I can't wait till we go around the table and Dan's asked what he's thankful for, and he's gonna say Hilberto.
Crazier things have happened, right? You never know.
Let's get this going. Obviously, before Thanksgiving, the Chargers play on Sunday, Dan. They travel to Green Bay, Wisconsin, and
is the mic about to come down, Frau?
Well, let's.
That's what you were aiming for, right? A little WWE reference.
Let's talk about this a little bit. They go to Green Bay. They play the Packers at 10. It's an early game, Dan.
Thank God. Thank God.
And just obviously, it's an interesting game because I think both teams have.
You put 10 p.m. Put a.m.
10 p.m. Did I put that? My bad. I'm sorry. Thank you, Dan.
If it's 10 p.m., I will not stay up for that. Trying to trap me. I was trying to use an adjective that's not polite.
Dan, what do you make of the Packers?
You know, I would love to ask the Charger fans a question before we even get into this. What time slot do you prefer the most? Do you prefer prime time Sunday, Monday, Thursday, the 1 o'clock, or the 10 a.m.? Because I'll tell you right now, especially when they're away or even at home, if I'm not going to the game, I 100% prefer the 10 a.m. game because then I can get it out of my way. Whatever happens, happens, and I can enjoy the rest of the games. The other way, it usually always ends up, I'm just pissed off watching these other games, but it is what it is. What do I make of the Packers? As you all know, right, if you watch Compass on the Beat, shout out to you if you do. I'm not a huge LaFleur guy. I think LaFleur, I don't know why I'm slurring that right now. I think he benefited a lot from Aaron Rodgers, and I think it showed. And really, I think he has nothing to show for it when I think he had some sack squads in there. So I think at some point it showed either his level of it showed his weaknesses more than it did Rodgers or some of those teams. You still remember, like either it was last year or the year before. I think it was the year before. Number one defense, number one offense bounced out in the first round at home to the San Francisco 49ers, and it was because of a special teams error. So not a huge LaFleur guy to say the least. And right now, I think the Packers are kind of in that in-between because obviously Jordan Love, I think he was a first-round draft pick a little bit late. They thought this guy was the future, right? Sat him. Now this is his first full year starting. So I think right now it's just more of the feeling out process for him, getting NFL game speed ready and everything else. So like I said, I don't think highly of these Packers. I think if the Chargers lose Sunday, I think that's going to be all. I think
we'll get into it. We'll get into it. But Dan,
so in other words, I don't think highly of the Packers at all. I think they struggled against a Steeler team that I think is all right, solid, but I don't think not the best. One thing's for sure, he can make some throws, dude. He can make something happen if you don't rush him and you don't make him throw it tight.
Obviously, what Dan was talking about, the WWE reference is this.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah.
Oh, I got hoop cube.
Yeah, you fell for the okie doke right there, dude.
I used to love watching
yeah,
Mr. Kennedy come
yeah.
in. I got
That
ooped
was you remember his finisher low key? That was pretty wild, dude.
Oh yeah.
From the second turnbuckle over there.
Yeah, no, I got ooped. Wow,
Yeah, you fell for that okey doke.
I never would. His
You're
name
just
was
like that
John
prank caller with
Cena.
the John Cena.
Exactly.
John Cena.
Dan, what would you do if this was Brandon Staley and Matt LaFleur before the game?
Oh my God.
Let's have a clean match. Come on, boy. Cram it up your cram hole, LaFleur.
Look how short he is compared to Vince Vaughn.
Cable television.
I'd like to ask you, who's who in that scenario, right?
Well, obviously, when he goes, cram it up your cram hole, LaFleur. And he says his name is LaFleur.
Oh, you're right. I forgot about that. Yeah, I hope Staley does tell him that. Well, I hope he does. I'm not a LaFleur guy at all.
No, I know you're not.
At all. But
obviously, on this episode, we're going to get a little bit into the Green Bay Packers, see what we see from this team coming in. They have injuries. I mean, they've had numerous injuries. Bakhtiari has barely even played, if at all.
The past few years, dude.
They've had some injuries to receivers. They've had some injuries to right now. I think I saw that cornerback Jari Alexander is he did not practice on Wednesday. He has a shoulder issue. We'll see what happens. Dan, on the Chargers side, Keenan Allen did not practice on Wednesday, also with a shoulder injury. When we asked Brandon Staley if he expects, is he hopeful that he plays, he said yes. So hope means that it's about a 50-50 as of right now. So we'll see what happens moving forward. But Keenan was able to come back into the game. Like I told you guys after the game, he kind of went in a couple of times into the medical tent, and then he went into the back, and then he came back out, and the Chargers were able to survive in a sense. Like they were able to move the football without him. By the way, why was I able to see all that? Because I am a reporter. God, there was a lot of Lions fans in our videos that were like, oh, we just beat your team. That's not my team, dude. Like, it's like that one guy that used to bug me. I'd be like, oh, hey, Joe, like, I put like, oh, so-and-so's going on the IR. It's not your team, so why do you care? Dude, I'm just reporting what's going on. Like, this is so dumb. Like,
you think this is real life? You're a part of this?
Yeah, I criticize Jared Goff. Deservedly so. I don't think Jared, like, I just feel like he's not a world beater. Like, I just don't
you know what's the
like
funniest part? You look at the stats from Sunday, they're almost identical. So how did he outplay him per se? You know what I'm saying?
He didn't outplay him. No, the run game helped him out a lot. But we're not going to get into that because Lions fans, like, for some reason, like, they're 7-2, they're finally relevant, and they get excited about being on the island of relevancy. And again,
there's
this
only
isn't
one.
It's so annoying when people are like, "Oh, we beat your team." Like, it's just so dumb because I'm not a Chargers fan. I don't care.
Reporter. He's a reporter.
This is like, it's just so funny to see people get all mad and everything. It's like, dude,
hey, like, if we thought Bills Mafia was bad, wait till you see, I don't know, Lion Pride. What's their nickname for you? The Kittens?
Who gives a crap what their names is? But it's so funny because obviously, like, they just think about what happened Sunday. Dude, there's like Monday through Saturday to worry about too. Like, don't just go to one day. Well, whatever. I just thought it was dumb the way Lions fans kind of came at
in the comments
for dumb stuff. Like, I was like, oh God. I'm like, you're finally relevant, I guess. Like, I mean, it only took like freaking magic by Dan Campbell to.
I think that's the annoying part. Like, I talk about this on regular Compass. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. You could tell they don't watch regular Compass because we're at least I'll speak for myself.
But like, when did we ever criticize Dan Campbell?
Yeah, no, or call the Lions soft. No one even said that. Yeah, it's a joke.
All we said was that we didn't think that Jared Goff was the top 5 or top, like, he's like a top 10 quarterback. Like, yeah, that, but you know why they probably said we were soft or why we called them soft? Because of the Ravens game. Where we were like, oh, they got beat 36-38 to like 6 or whatever.
Yeah.
They got sacked 5 times. That's all. But the offensive line, obviously, we all know they're stout. Like, look at the plays that they ran. There was a lot of defensive breakdowns, which I'm not criticizing the Lions at all. They took advantage. Yeah. Like, Derwin said after the game that it was embarrassing, the play that or not embarrassing, but like, he doesn't like, or he didn't like that they on 4th and 5 they were able to run the football on them. And obviously, like you go back and look at the play, and you're like, geez, like what are half of these guys doing? Like there was, well, and I mean, you told me one defensive lineman was basically playing linebacker and stuff.
Jeez.
So
I think the funniest part was,
and then I saw. Wait, hold on, real quick.
Yeah, my bad,
and then the Amon-Ra St. Brown touchdown. Like, there's nobody on him.
Yeah,
like there's nobody on him, and he just literally walked. Like, even if you were playing flag football, there's no way anybody would have caught him. Like, nobody would have grabbed his flag.
Yeah,
like it's a lot of the defensive breakdowns, which brings me into this point. Brandon Staley today, Wednesday, was asked about, hey, are you willing to give up? Are you willing to?
Oh, your favorite question. Your favorite question.
Yeah. I've asked him in the past. I didn't ask him today, but I've asked him in the past. But here is what Brandon Staley had to say. Well, yeah, let's just listen to what Brandon Staley had to say about that.
To go.
Have you, over your time here, have you ever considered making like significant changes on defense, whether it be giving up, calling plays, or significant changes of personnel or scheme or anything like that?
We have not.
Why is that?
Well, we believe in how we play, and we believe in the guys that we're playing with. You're going to make adjustments throughout the year, but nothing significant.
So you're going to continue calling defensive plays?
Yeah.
Any update on Keenan's shoulder?
No.
Just seeing a situation like this, a coach will make a change, like a play calling thing, just to shake it up, just to try something else. What's your philosophy on that? Or
I think every situation is different. I think if you feel like it gives you the best chance to win, or you think that it could spark your team or something, people do that. But we don't feel like that's the direction that we're going to take.
That is probably his least favorite question asked, dude. You see, like, you're starting to see a different side, in my opinion. Like, very short, very yes, no, and very irritated, dude. Like, that's wild, dude. That's something else right there.
It's funny because Jeff Miller spoke to, I think it was Josier Taylor, and I saw that he wrote this, that he said, we're like, I guess they do Tell the Truth Mondays or whatever, where they watch the film and they tell each other.
You're talking about on the team? The team does this.
Yeah. And that, and I guess, what did he say? He said it like, let me look at it real quick, but I think
you want me to talk, or you? Okay.
No, I think I got it. Okay. I think in the gist of it is, I basically said we're watching the film and everything, but like every Monday we're like watching the same mistake. We sit in the film room week after week fixing the same mistakes. Is basically what
that tells you everything you need to know about what's going on right now. And that's from essentially the horse's mouth, a player on the field. See, this is my problem with it, with what the video we just saw in his comments. He says he has a lot of confidence, but it's like, buddy, they had at will whatever they wanted with that defense. They hung up 41 points. I don't think you could have a lot of confidence in anything that puts up 41 points on your defense. You know what I'm saying? You're not tough at the line of scrimmage. You're not being physical. You're letting receivers treat this like a damn 7-on-7 game. And it's like, I don't know just where I don't know if it's hubris. I don't know what it is, but I don't know how you could be so confident. Like, looking at, I'm pulling up the schedule right now. Hold on.
Oh, I can tell you from
Dolphins 36 points, Titans 27 points, Vikings 24. All right, Raiders 17, Cowboys 20, Chiefs 31.
But it's not just that. It's also that like they gave up over 150 yards of Tyreek Hill to Travis Kelce to Justin Jefferson, like, 149.
From some of these I read,
Lamb.
Most of them are over 20 points, except the Jets,
Cowboys.
The Bears. Cowboys. They made the 20-point marker. The Raiders, and that's it. Everybody else is over 20 points.
Aiden O'Connell,
what were his?
Tyson Bagent and Zach Wilson.
Yeah, exactly. Like Aiden O'Connell, 238, 1/3. I don't think. What was Devontae Adams? 8 for 75.
Devontae Adams, I think, only had like 75
yards. 8 for
yards
75. Yeah, 81. But I mean, that's not a very good football team. And that was with I bet you one thing, they're probably going to see a lot different team when they play them again. That's going to be a lot energized, a very energized Raiders team in Las Vegas. And, you know, that's where I circle back to, right? Where it's like I understand, right? He's not going to freaking either tear down players or whatever else in the media. Totally respect it. But like, if you have conversations, like what's going on behind closed doors is what I would love to know. Because clearly, like, if we're going to take Josier Taylor's quote, like at face value and his word, clearly something is not being communicated correctly. Either they don't understand the system, or I don't know what it is, because how are you fixing the same mistakes every week? Like, it's tough. It's tough. Like, trust me, I know it's tough because sometimes I see it, right? But it's like, this is the men's league, dude. It's not a high school football team. It's a lot different. So that's just my thing. I don't know how, like, either something's getting miscommunicated or whatever, but I don't know how you're having the same mistakes every week, because that's what teams are relying on for tape for the next week. So if you're making the same mistakes, you're going to give it up to the next opponent every single time, like clockwork. Like, I don't know what's going on.
Well, and LaFleur, I mean, I know you criticize him and everything, but LaFleur is an offensive mind. So you know he's going to try and figure out different ways. Like, look at Ben Johnson last week. Like, Pop wrote about it. Like, they went all the way back to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Yeah, they had 2 weeks to prepare, but they went back to a Jacksonville Jaguars run, and they ran almost the exact same thing to the opposite side, knowing that these guys couldn't stop it last year. So it's just –
I'll tell you right now. Oh, my bad. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, you did. So what's up?
Oh, my bad. I said I was going to tell you. I'll tell you right now. What I'm doing literally the first half is the same thing the Lions did. I'm going to challenge them at the line of scrimmage. I'm going to run freaking A.J. Dillon at their ass. Big, physical, thick thighs. He's going to be tough to tackle. Then mixing in some Aaron Jones, little play action, little screen.
That's what they need. That's all the Packers need to just, like, keep on running the football, be consistent with it, and then just play action.
Keep Bosa, Mack, and Thule off edge where they don't know what they're going to get every play. You can't have 4 or 5 step drops to let those guys try and get home. That's the key to the game. Get the ball out quick, pick your spots, pick the weak link in the defensive backs, and just get after it. Know where Derwin James is at all times on the field. That's one thing for sure. You got to know that. But yeah, it's just, I don't, because, like, and honestly, going back to what he said and stuff like that, like, we've already said this multiple times this season already, and this one really is starting to feel it, because let me see who they play next. Because you're at a crossroads. I know some guys on Twitter and everything else were getting all hot and bothered because people were trying to pack it in and stuff like that. And I understand where they're saying, oh, it's probably the middle of the season. I get that. But you read off some of these stats, it's hard to see them advancing or making it a deep run unless things are fixed, obviously. That's very tough to begin with. On top of that, from the Packers, if you can't beat the Packers, you fall to, what is it? Are they 4 and 5? 4 and 6, yeah. Then
and
you
if
face
the Raiders
the
happen to if the Broncos beat
they just
Vikings,
won,
no, if the Vikings lose to the Broncos, if the Broncos beat the Vikings and the Raiders beat the Dolphins, the Chargers are in last place.
Yeah, so very quick slip. Very quick slip.
Yeah.
So every game is must win. Like, that should be the message in the room. Every game is a playoff game from now on. You're playing for your football life, dude. Let's see this.
Number 3, quarters coverage. It's going to be tough. So as a quarters coverage, this guy, now, if 2 comes under, he's going to sit him down, because this quarter safety, he's going to relate to 2 vertical. If 2 doesn't go vertical, then that basically becomes the new number 2. And instead of being outside leverage, he's going to be, instead of being inside leverage of 2, he's going to now be outside leverage. St. Brown is going to be bad ball, a bad matchup for that safety against that type of receiver.
Oh my God.
Once again, a good play design.
Did you see how fast he got up there?
Quarters up top. He's going to occupy both of those quarters defenders. And now you got a safety chasing St. Brown from number 3 position.
Always open. Buddy. Always open in the middle of the field.
Mm-hmm.
So that's first quarter, though. You know?
Yeah.
Maybe make an adjustment.
First drive.
First quarter, they got guys wide open. Fourth quarter, they got guys wide open. Ben Johnson,
Play design.
Exactly.
Play design. It's timing. No.
Exactly. Like that's exactly what it is.
And that, for you audio listeners, that was from the Pat McAfee show. That was Darius Butler, former cornerback. He really has a lot of assets. I mean, he has him, the former offensive lineman.
AQ Shipley, shout out.
He has what's his
Awesome
name?
guy.
Chuck Pagano.
Yeah, Chuck Pagano. Yeah.
And then I mean, obviously he has the Hawk, but it's definitely and he's a compa. He
Shout out
from before.
They're awesome.
But yeah, and I mean, you could tell like they kept on doing things, and I'm not trying to harp back on the Lions because obviously we're focusing on the Packers, but it's just.
But it goes week to week, dude.
The Packers are going to look at that film and really dissect it and try and see what they can do against this team because AJ Dillon's a big dude, like you said. Aaron Jones is fast. He can catch the ball. They can make a lot of people have mistakes. I'm looking at the Packers right now, and oh crap!
And I would rate Jordan Love over obviously Aiden O'Connell and Tyson Badgett or whatever his name was. Like it could be trouble.
He's second in the NFL in interceptions, I think, right now. Jordan Love, he has 10. They've sacked him 19 times. So basically, what the Chargers are going to have to do is put the pressure on him and force him to make mistakes. So
that's what should happen. That's what should happen.
He's only completing 58% of his passes, 2,000 yards so far in the season.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, they have good receivers. I mean, they have
decent.
They have decent receivers in Jaden Reed.
Yeah.
Jaden Reed, 28 catches, 417, 4 touchdowns. Romeo Dobbs, 33 catches, 543 yards, and 6 touchdowns. Christian Watson's been the one kind of battling some injuries. He's only played in 6 games this year, but he has 14 catches, 263, and a touchdown. They have some weapons, and then they have good tight ends. They have some good tight ends on there. Luke Musgrave, 29 catches, 313. So they have some weapons over there in Green Bay. So the offensive line has kind of been the thing that we'll see what they are. But when it comes to pass rush, Preston Smith, we know him. 5 sacks. Rashawn Gary, 4.5. Kenny Clark. Seems like Kenny Clark's been in the NFL forever.
Yeah.
He has
UCLA guy, I think.
Yeah, UCLA guy. So these guys, they have a lot of guys there that can make the difference. And if the Chargers offensive line isn't up to it, they can get they could be in for a long day. And I mean, like we said, they also have some good corners on that side. They have some good Rudy Ford, 2 interceptions. Rasul Douglas is no longer there. He's now with the Buffalo Bills. But they have some players on here, and the Chargers need to be careful with. I mean, the one thing is they only have 5 interceptions on the season, the defense. So I guess that's a positive. But the Chargers need. The thing is, Dan, it's going to be tough if you don't have let's say Keenan Allen doesn't play.
Yeah,
it's going to be a very tough game. But I talked to Jalen today. I talked to Quentin Johnston. They feel like it kind of gave them, it energized them when okay, let me word this a different way. When Keenan went out, they said them being able to move the football, even though Keenan wasn't there for the whole drive, they were like, that kind of gave us a little bit of a confidence boost because we're like, hey, when Keenan's in there, obviously, we all need to make plays. But when Keenan wasn't in there, we started making plays, and you're like, okay, cool, we can move the football, and that gives you confidence. Jalen Guyton remembered in 2020. I remember I was at that game in Vegas. It was Chargers and Raiders, and it was Tyron Johnson, KJ Hill and Jalen Guyton who were asked to catch the passes because yes, Mike Williams and Keenan Allen were activated for that game, but they were just they barely even played in that game. So but yeah, I mean that's the thing, Dan, is that they're gonna be called upon this weekend to do work. I'd be surprised if Keenan didn't play just because we all know how Keenan is.
Yeah,
he's tough and
he's a dog,
and I mean,
I think he feels it too, though. How important every week is now moving forward. You didn't have the start to the season that you wanted or that people expected, and now really it's starting to get into crunch time because again, Keenan is what is he in year 12 or 13?
11.
Oh, you could tell I'm not a math guy, but he's starting to feel that pressure, dude. 12, hold on, 11 years and only making the playoffs, I think twice, right? Or thrice.
Yeah.
Twice or thrice.
Twice.
That's not very good, dude. And he's a competitor, I'm sure. He's a dog, dude. He does not like losing. So
You know when's the last
Derwin's
time?
name, a lot of those guys are the same. So
You know when's the last time the Chargers beat the Packers in Green Bay?
I saw the tweet. It was when someone was a kid.
1984.
Rivers was a kid, right? He was 2 years old or
Only
something.
2 years old, yeah.
Yeah.
1984.
And if you go back and look how long it's been since they won the division, I'm sure that pisses these guys off too. That it's the same guy every freaking year. Either it went from the Broncos to the Chiefs. That's got to piss them off, dude. At some point, if not, I mean, why the hell do we even play this sport? But
The last time Keenan Allen played in Green Bay, 14 catches, 157.
yeah, I remember that one. That was a close game. Yeah,
That was the Melvin Gordon. He fumbled twice, remember?
Yeah,
And he got
yeah.
benched by Mike McCoy. It was his rookie year.
Yeah. I remember that.
And
I remember that.
it was so I felt so
Eric's
bad for
best
Melvin
friend. Yeah.
because he had so many. He had like I think it was like 50 to 100 relatives there or like family friends.
Oh, you're
And
right. He's a
he got
Wisconsin
benched and
guy.
fumbled. Yeah.
Damn.
Philip
He
was
seemed like a good guy when we met him, by the way. I always
yeah,
felt
he was
bad for
really
him.
cool. Yeah,
I
no,
felt
he's
bad
a
for him,
funny.
dude. I think he
a
got some
funny
bad
guy.
advice.
Philip went 43 of 65, 503 yards. I think that was his career high.
He threw 65 times.
Dan, do you remember this game? It
No
was the
wonder
Chargers
they
had made it all the way up
lost.
to the 1 yard line.
Yeah, he threw a pick or something, right?
No. They had to go. They went 4 different plays, and in one of those, Danny Woodhead kind of like it went out of Danny Woodhead's hands. Like I can't remember specifically, but I remember they had 4th and goal at like the 2 yard line for 4 straight plays, and they couldn't get in.
Jesus, that tells you everything you need to know. But back to it, right? Like, I think this is for sure going to be one of those games where if you keep it tight and it's close, I think it's going to be very good for Green Bay, and they could pull it out. Like I said, I think Jordan Love's a lot better than Aiden O'Connell and Tyson Bagent. He might have a little more upside. So I think if you don't put pressure and score points, like it's gonna be a long day in Green Bay, dude. Especially because it's gonna be cold. I don't even know what the temperature is gonna be over there.
No, it's supposed to be in the low 50s.
Oof, chilly for this Cali boy, dude.
Outside, I think.
I don't think it's 50s. I don't think it's 50s.
Well, no, when we went to the game on Friday, that's how it was. It was around 50.
Oh, that wasn't too bad. That wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
That was I.
But obviously, that's the way the Charger. Yeah. You know what? Let's get into it real quick. Dan, your quarterback is he's a pretty funny guy. He's the problem, though.
He's the problem. He's the problem.
Listen to what Justin. He was being asked about his finger, and listen to what he had to say. It was actually pretty funny.
Sorry to keep asking about the finger, but was there ever a point where you were thinking about it a lot and then you stopped thinking about it as much throughout these 6 weeks, or have you not been thinking about it much at all from the beginning?
I think I'm probably thinking about it the most right now. So no, it's gotten better. No, it's all good. It's gotten better. So whenever you're out in the field, you're focused on football and you're focused on doing your job and doing everything like that. So really, the only time that you get to think about it is outside of football. Especially answering questions about it.
Look at that, dude. Does a few commercials, letting the hair down, the swag's coming out, making jokes. Now
Your
start
tribal chief.
mocking some of these reporters, and I'll really be amped up and fired up, dude.
That's your tribal chief.
He's a dog, dude. He's a dog. There's only one. That's my dog.
It's so funny. Like, obviously, like every week, it's starting to come down more and more. Like he has less and less on his finger. He's getting close to being at. Well, I mean, in that sense, like he's close to it being completely
as healthy as he can in season.
Yeah, exactly. So
no one is fully 100% when after the season starts. Dude.
Yeah, no, exactly. But yeah, so this weekend should be interesting. But I mean, obviously, like we all know, like that's not affecting him as much as it was. Like
no.
You could tell that it affected him in the Dallas game. It affected him in the Chiefs game, and even a little bit in the Bears game. But lately, I think it's been better. It's gotten better and better as he's going. So I'm sure he's close to being 100%. But here we go. This is another funny part by your quarterback. We asked him about playing in Green Bay, stuff like that. Like, so listen to this. You'll get
He's used to the cold out in Oregon, dude.
Watch this. Oh shoot, wrong thing. My bad.
Falling for 2 okie dokes. 0 y van 2, chavo. Ya sabes lo que va a pasar. 0 y van 3.
Okay,
Para la
watch this.
próxima. Look at the smile, dude.
Lambeau, is there any place you haven't played you'd like to play, or are you not that kind of? Are you not wired that way in terms of like thinking of football that way?
I think Lambeau would be really cool. I think that's always been on there. I'm just hoping for a nice weather day. Obviously you got to be prepared for anything. But there's just something about, Lambeau and the history behind that and the teams that they've had. So we've got a ton of respect for them. And that's definitely one of those places that would be up there.
So you wouldn't want to go out there and play in the snow in Lambeau to get the full experience?
You can do that on Madden. So.
Damn, he really was showing personality today. You know what's funny? Speaking of that, obviously let us know where you would want to play if you had one game, what NFL stadium. I think mine would be low-key Heinz Field with snow or no snow. I don't know if it's Heinz Field anymore, but
the fourth quarter would be nuts when they do the Renegade.
And the terrible towels and everything. Obviously, I'd rather take on a real Steelers team, not this team. Like
now we're gonna have Steelers fans in here.
I'm talking about that's fine, but I'm saying like we all know what's going on, dude. They're just kind of they're doing what they need to do to win. Respect for that. But it's not like one of those Big Ben teams where they mollywopped your ass, dude. Like I would love to play in Heinz Field if that's what it's still called. Terrible towels from
Lambeau though. Lambeau has that like just history to it. That
it's the first Super Bowl is named after the head coach, the Super Bowl trophy.
No, I know, but that's what I'm saying. Like, can you imagine?
Yeah. I'm just saying, I would rather be at Heinz.
Well, no, I completely agree with you. I mean, both of those stadiums are historic. Like, I don't think there's a lot like that anymore. Where
because they got rid of Candlestick, they got rid of. Well, who knows if the Coliseum when Oakland was there? Yeah, I don't think they won any Super Bowls as Oakland.
By the way, no, yeah, they won one.
Oh, okay. Well,
by the way, did you hear what happened?
Well, what happened?
Somebody stole your look.
My look?
Yeah.
Been through some shit. You would never understand. Ladies and gentlemen, Aaron James Hawk.
Yeah.
You get beat up? Who beat your ass? Jim Harbaugh beat the hell out of you?
Wow.
Are you okay?
I was hoping you guys might not notice, but I thought it might be a bit of a distraction today. But yeah, I look at that.
Oh my God.
I got a straight eye patch put on this morning. Yeah.
I saw that, dude. We got some fans of the show. Even Tony was saying some stuff that I'm like, he must be a fan of the show, dude. He probably heard this.
I don't know about that, but
yeah, no, because I hate Tony. Tony's probably I would love to know who people don't like commentating. Seriously.
So just before we get into our usual back end, I mean that's the thing, we BS a lot.
We go everywhere.
What most of this show's about. So we appreciate you guys for rocking with us. Like it's funny because Karen tells me, obviously everybody loves Karen.
Shout
Karen,
out.
Like, I love the way you and Dan just go back and forth. I'm like, that's literally us, like all of our lives. Like,
hey, it's like we've said it before.
It's authentic.
We're not here. Like you can hate my takes, even the Lions fans, if you're still in the chat. You can hate them, but let me tell you something. That's me. What you see right here is what we talk about in the cars and everywhere else. Like we talk about the Chargers and we talk about these same topics. So
yeah,
it's not any different. This isn't a facade. Like this is where I can kind of let down my hair and put on the coaching hat and try and give some ass analysis.
Before we kind of head out of here, I did want to show that clip, the thing that I got okey doked with. I just want to give another shout out to Adrian Garcia Marquez and Pancho.
Those guys kill it, dude.
Yeah, no, they are Francisco Pinto. They do such a great job. But listen to this. This is gonna get you hyped, Dan. You know you like to get hyped.
Yeah. That's a nice hat.
Tiene hombre abierto Keenan. Suelta el rollo. Touchdown. Puro Charger Power. Por la calle 13. Entran a la zona festiva. Mis Chargers. Keenan. Allen otra vez.
Lo decía Adrián, este partido cambia con un touchdown, pero por muchas cosas, porque el equipo tiene y está obligado a encontrar un ritmo ofensivo que le ha pertenecido solamente a los Lions. Qué ruta maravillosa que corre Keenan Allen y deja sin ninguna opción. Me parece que es Jerry Jacobs, el número 23, el esquinero de los Lions. Este es uno de los grandes receptores que ha visto la liga en su historia.
Dude, I love the way he says, "Oh, it goes down 13th Street." I thought that was pretty dope.
Yeah.
At first, I was like, "What is he talking about?" Then I'm like, "Oh yeah, duh, number 13." Yeah, that was shout out to Adrian, dude.
Keenan, I don't know what it is, but I just think the dude is so underrated. Like,
oh yeah, dude.
And obviously, I don't want to ask that to players and stuff because
Yeah.
obviously they're gonna be like, "No, we all know how good he is," but I think he's been underrated for so long, and I think
especially
everybody still
in
has
the league. Yeah,
the problem is, I feel like everybody still has those images of like him those 2 seasons where he was injured, but ever since those seasons, like he's been consistent. Even last year when he came back from the injury, he was hitting like he got up to 700 yards in
I think he only missed 2 games,
in like
too, or
9
something
games.
like that. Yeah.
In like 9 games, he got up to like 700 and something yards. So Keenan's just been consistent. The dude's so good, and I think he can still. I'm telling you, the way he trains, the way he is, the way he sleeps and
lives
football. I feel like the dude could go like another 3 solid years of 1,000-yard receiving seasons. Remember, that's what used to happen back in the day, like T.O. and all these guys. Like I remember T.O.'s one of his like towards the end, he was still putting up numbers.
Yeah, that's why it was crazy when the Bengals, I forgot who cut him randomly, or I can't remember who it was, but he was still putting up numbers. But we go back to this thing, right? It's like Keenan, is not going to be a yak guy. He's like a possession. He'll get the ball and make sure he catches it and everything else. You don't need him to be a yak guy.
At 37. Okay, so listen to this.
Oh, damn, at 37?
Keenan is 31. At 31, T.O. had 1,200 yards and 14 touchdowns with Dallas. Next year, T.O. only played in 7 games that year, but he had 763. Next year at 33, 1,180 yards at 33. 34, Dan. 1,355, 15 touchdowns.
Damn.
35 years old, 1,052 yards, 10 touchdowns. He went 1 year to Buffalo with Ryan Fitzpatrick. 829 and 5 touchdowns. Dan, in 11 games started in Cincinnati at 37 years old, 983 and 9 touchdowns.
I don't know how he wasn't first ballot, honestly. I thought that was ridiculous.
Keenan is about 5,000 yards away from T.O.
5,000 yards? Oh, in all time?
Yeah.
Damn.
But no, wait, hold on. Let me see.
5,000. He was 37?
No, he almost had 1,600. No, he's about 6,000 yards away from it.
Damn.
But I'm just saying, like, T.O. was like, he went until 37 years old. I'm not saying Keenan can make it to 37, but I think at 35 he could still probably make an impact the way he is and the way he's
Dude, think about it. Route running is ability that doesn't need speed or anything else. All it is understanding football, understanding angles, and understanding what the defense is going to do. All it is head movement and just IQ. Like, everybody forgets also. We've talked about it, I think, last week. Antonio Gates did the same thing at 30, whatever he was when he was on this team. He'd still get open, and he was still one of Rivers' favorite risk targets on the field at like 30 something, and he could barely move. But
no, but I mean, the moves that Keenan's putting guys like, and especially on that first touchdown to Keenan, Gates, Justin, like he kind of looks the safety off.
Yeah.
And when the safety finally tries to make a move, Justin had fitted into the window and it was too. Yeah, there was no way he was going to get there. So I know everybody was like a little bit frustrated against Dallas and against what was the other game? I think it was against against Chicago, where Keenan and Justin were on the same page on some of those throws. The fingers now getting healthy, those throws are going to be there. So I don't think people should be. I think people need to stop looking at that, and because they're starting to get there. So I think they'll definitely be fine. But Dan, before I let you go, I have a question for you. Is this true about the offensive line, right? Centers.
Is this
true about centers?
What?
They also made you snap on your week off.
Yeah. We were simulating what Josh Dobbs had to go through in Minnesota the week before, where brand new with a team just has to get up off the sideline and go win a game.
Isn't it such a fucking wild situation?
It's crazy. Who did that? Was that Baker that did it a couple years ago? I think he actually had some practice.
He had
but
like
it was like
2 or
only
3
like
days.
a day. They like have their hand like barely touch. I'm like, bro, I need to feel some pressure. Like I need to know where that hand's at, brother. If I don't feel pressure, I'm snapping to my ass. I need to know where the hand is.
Touch it. Don't be scared. Don't be scared, son.
Listen, if your knuckles don't smell like some sweaty balls afterwards, then you're not doing it right.
That's 100% accurate. In case anybody is wondering, that is 100% accurate. Because the problem is, right, quarterbacks want to freaking obviously. How can I do this without being explicit or like weird or whatever? But it's obviously uncomfortable. But you have to understand it's football. So it's like if your hands aren't up there, right? There's room for the ball to like if you hit. You're gonna catch it. You know what I'm saying? Like
that's what Jason was saying. Jason was saying that the problem when rookies come in is that they've only snapped from
shotgun,
shotgun, and they kind of go in there and they go a little bit timid. Like, no, dude, go in there and like he's like, don't worry, feel me up. You're all good. He's like, you have to be assertive with that stuff.
That is true because, like I said, if there's pocket and room, that's when you fumble snaps. Like the I guess his ass serves as like, that's where it ends and it doesn't bounce. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how you don't fumble those snaps. But
I just how you get
be really in there. Yeah. Well, yeah, they're hilarious, dude. Even though I hate Travis and his girlfriend and all that other stuff, but
you just like them. By the way, I think we might be screwed on our picks for Monday.
Why?
Taylor Swift and her family are all going to be at the game.
No. Eagles are going to mop the floor with them.
By the way, did you see what happened with Draymond Green?
Oh, the suspension? How he tried?
But did you see why?
Did you see?
Watch this.
No, I saw him choke him.
No. Listen, it's with Rogan's commentary.
Oh my god.
There's the choke. He's got it. It's under the
on.
Back mount. There's the choke. He's got it. It's under the neck. There it is. Nope, it's on the chin. There's the choke.
Look at his face.
By the way,
Gobert was like, help me, please.
I don't know if you heard, but Samoa Joe came out and he Samoa Joe's a former TNA, WWE, and now he's at AEW. And he's like, let Draymond live. And then this guy tweets out this video of Samoa Joe choking out Brock Lesnar. And so I guess Draymond did it right, Dan. What do you think?
Yeah, it was executed to perfection. But more importantly,
Rudy Gobert's face.
Did you see the freaking I think it was Patrick Beverly. Someone I think sent in the chat what he said about Karl Anthony Towns and all that, or no?
Oh,
someone.
No, but that was Rudy Gobert though.
No. But who?
Oh, that
he was on a podcast that he
Karl
called
Anthony
him
Towns was
soft.
just standing there.
Yeah. He didn't help his homeboy out and all that other stuff. Yeah, that to me was funnier than what you saw. But I don't even watch basketball anymore, but Draymond's always done that weirdo stuff, the kicking in the nuts and all that stuff. So did you see the memes that came out after that? That one was kind of funny. How they're like, Draymond's finally getting his revenge for Rudy starting COVID in the NBA or something like that. Because you remember how he coughed and touched everything like an idiot? Yeah.
All right, Dan, I got to get you out of here because contract says I can't keep you more than a certain amount of time. So
that's right. Got to
give me a fantasy player to watch.
Give me AJ Dillon. I think he's going to be the key to this game to really punish these defenders and really try them. Wearing down this defense has to be objective number one because you keep them out on the field long enough, they will be exhausted. They won't be able to be, get after the pass or get after the quarterback and everything else. So give me AJ Dillon.
Give me Austin Eckler. I think this is going to be a big game for Austin Eckler.
There you go, 2 running backs. Yep. Who says they're not valued anymore, Frau?
X Factor.
I think the X Factor, I think last week I picked offensive line. I think this week I'm going to go with, you know what I'm going to go with? I'm going to go with the X Factor is going to be the Chargers linebacker core. Oh. I think they really need to step up in the run game. I think the showing last week was abysmal. I thought it was terrible. Like, again, I've spoken about Kenneth Murray and some of these guys a few times. I just don't understand like what's going on in the sense that like last week, he's one of those guys that fills the right hole, does everything right. But when it comes to making contact with offensive linemen, just gets mollywopped out of the way and stuff like that, or he shoots under instead of over and stuff like that. So I think they're going to be crucial to stopping any run game. They need to freaking fill gaps because when you go with these 5-man fronts or whatever with 5 defensive linemen, that's the linebacker's job. Like the linebacker's job is to fill the hole after because essentially if you have 5 defensive linemen, for the most part, you'll go 5 offense. You'll go 5 for 5. In other words, it's all one-on-one base blocks. And it's like, if you don't have linebackers filling correctly and making tackles in the backfield or at the line of scrimmage, it's going to be a long day, dude. I think 100% these linebackers need to step up in the run game.
I'm going to go with the Chargers pass rush. I think if they can get Jordan Love and sack him a couple of times, then I think they'll be in a good position to try and get some turnovers. That's the thing, too. They didn't get any turnovers on the Lions, and I think that really hurt them. Derwin said that maybe that was another reason, too. He's like, hey, when we've come out and we've set the tone, we've had energy. We've gone around and we've created some turnovers. So we'll see what if that happens. But I think it's all going to start with the pass rushers. Prediction, Dan.
Oh, if the Chargers don't win this game, shut down the season, dude. I don't think like I said, I'm not going to go into a whole soliloquy. I don't think the Packers are very good right now. I think this is very much a build-up year in the sense of let's get Jordan Love some reps. Let's get him accustomed. Let's get him ready. Let's get him game speed. And it's very much his I don't want to say tryout year because he probably is going to be the guy moving forward, but this is very much this is our learning curve year. Get the mistakes out now. Next year it'll be the real year where you try and actually go win something.
I'll say the Packers win 21-18.
Damn.
I'll say Packers win 21-18. I'm not a believer in that defense, and
well, you're right. There's nothing more than that.
And I think their defense is pretty tough.
Yeah.
I mean,
especially if you have no Keenan Allen, how creative is Kellen Moore?
Well, I mean but we don't know if he's going to play or not. So that's
but I mean,
kind of the thing.
It's nothing to sneeze at. A shoulder that could be a lot worse. That's where you get a lot of contact because guys.
So they scored 38 against the Bears, 24 against the Falcons, 18 against the Saints, 20 against the Lions, 13 against the Raiders, 17 against the Packers, 10 against the Vikings, 20 against the Rams, and then 19 against the
Talking about the Packers?
Yeah, I may change my pick. No, I'll keep it. 21-18
to be
Packers.
different.
Yeah, I'll go 21-18 Packers.
18.
But
that's an interesting number right there, guy. They get a safety along the way or something?
Or they go for 2 twice. I don't know. Or it could just be 6 field goals.
Oh, my God.
No.
You see, right there, 6 field goals. Kellen Moore would be feeling some pressure, dude.
No, I don't think so. I think he's only in his first year. But all right.
But you know how it is when you bring guys with hype. Like that's always the toughest thing, dude. Managing expectations.
But we appreciate you guys so much for jumping on and listening to us spew and all the other stuff that we do. Again, we appreciate you guys so much. Don't forget to check out everything else on Compas on the Beat Network. We will be here as soon as the game is over with our thoughts about the game. So thank you guys so much. And have a good rest of your week and have a good weekend. Thank you guys. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, be a compa, tell a compa. Thank you guys.